In 2007 and 2008, I took part in the Black Egypt debate, and in 2009, I posted a positive video response to Radio 1's Black Egypt video. I don't believe he has an account anymore. I started off my video series, Illuminati Part 1, 4 years ago, August 2009, over 4 years ago actually, that I said the ancient Egyptians were black and that the whites came and stole their ideas, etc. Now, this video is about the genetics, and we start with the contamination from handling and intrusion from microbes create obstacles to the recovery of ancient DNA. Consequently, most DNA studies have been carried out on modern Egyptian populations with the intent of learning about the influences of historical migrations on the population of Egypt. One successful study was performed on ancient mummies of the 12th dynasty by Pabo and Di Renzo, which identified multiple lines of descent, some of which originated in sub-Saharan Africa. Blood typing and DNA sampling on ancient Egyptian mummies is scant. However, blood typing of dynastic mummies found ABO frequencies to be most similar to modern Egyptians, and some also to northern Hurritan populations. ABO blood group distribution shows that the Egyptians form a sister group to North African populations including Berbers, Nubians, and Canary Islanders. A 2012 study done on the mummified remains of Ramses III and his son determined that both Y chromosomes belong to haplogroup E1B1A, Y DNA. The pharaoh's Y chromosome belongs to the most frequent haplogroup among contemporary sub-Saharan Y chromosomes. Now for the scandal. Scientists at a Zurich-based DNA genealogy center, IGENEA, in a Discovery Channel documentary in 2011 claimed that Tutankhamun had haplogroup R1B1A2. Now this was after I already released my videos for 2 years saying the Egyptians were black. They're trying to contradict people like me. Anyway, back to the article. To which more than 50% of European men, but less than 1% of modern-day Egyptians belong to. But the Y chromosome of King Tut has never been published, and DNA profile displayed in Discovery Channel documentary may not belong to the pharaoh. According to Carsten Pusch, a geneticist at Germany's University of Tübingen, who was part of the team that unraveled Tut's DNA from samples taken from his mummy and mummies of his family members, IGENEA's claims are simply impossible. So right there, from the German university, one of the members of the team says they're lying. It's part of the Great White Cover. So I've shown you the artistic evidence, the etymological evidence, and I've showed you the genealogical evidence. Need I go on? Need I beat this dead horse? All you Eurocentrists, you've lost. Even if you go to Wikipedia and you look at their sources, you've lost. You look at the countless articles on DNA studies, people talk about back migrations from Asia to sub-Saharan Africa. Look, what you do have is the later dynasties. You have the foreign kings coming and marrying the local black women in order to have a legitimate claim as pharaoh, and a legitimate claim on a bloodline as pharaoh. And that's all that is. I'm not going to tell you about the story about Ai and how, the Hittite prince was betrayed, and we're not going to get into all that, okay? But there's many stories in Egyptian history where they reflect the idea that they're open to foreign kings coming and marrying into the bloodline. Just like the Rothschilds and the Babylonians married into the Illuminati bloodline, which is what I left out of the last video because I cut it short because I was way over the time. But how I would have ended it is by saying that the families that adopted the secret society ideas were, a lot of them, were from the ancient royal families of Babylon, because they were included in the people who took the ideas from Egypt and ran with it. And that's pretty much how it went as far as who the Illuminati were. They come from the ancient European cults, or the ancient white cults, we'll call them, that were in Egypt, and that evolved the knowledge from there. That's where their knowledge comes from. That's where their system comes from, their belief system. But they have the Babylonian perspective as well as the Greek perspective, Roman, and they're really considering all these kind of perspectives when they're presenting their version of the Egyptian perspective. It's a white European Egyptian perspective, a whitewashed perspective of Egypt. It's a whitewashed Babylonian perspective, whitewashed Persian perspective. Every perspective they're coming from is a white point of view based on colored people's religion. Thank you.